Well, we weren't able to worship in person on Ash Wednesday to kick off our Lenten season, but we did have online worship, and we'll have Ashes this coming Sunday during worship. And I'm still excited for the season of Lent, because Lent is a time for us to grow and make changes in our lives, and we are going to do that by having Wednesday worship. We'll have a noon service, which will be a prayerful and reflective service, and we'll have 7 p.m. services every Wednesday. That's Holden Evening Prayer, which I think is a beautiful service. We'll also be focusing on one central concept, which is prayer. Prayer is one of the most important things we can do as Christians, and I don't think we talk about it enough. So, there are 5 Wednesdays in Lent, and I have 5 basic concepts for how we can get better at praying. So the first one, we'll be talking about the basics of prayer and having a specific location, a specific setup, so that we can get into a prayerful mindset. The second Wednesday, we'll talk about having a focus. So like using music or having a candle or incense to help us keep our mind and our heart focused on our prayer. Then the third Wednesday, we'll talk about having a Bible practice, getting inspiration from Scripture to guide us through our prayer. Then the fourth Wednesday, we'll talk about having a prayer formula, how to walk through different prayers so that we can confidently talk with God. And then the fifth Wednesday, we'll talk about scheduling prayer and accountability to make sure that we're actually engaging in prayer regularly so that we can have a healthy prayer life. I'm really excited to go through all of these things because when we do that, we can have a more healthy prayer life. And that prayer life leads us into daily life, and that daily life leads us into loving our neighbor and serving our God, and it all begins with prayer. So I hope to see Wednesdays at noon or Wednesdays at 7 during the season of Lent to talk about prayer.